Alright, hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome back to our Minecraft Trains project. I was looking at the tractor mush, apparently. Let me go back to where I'm building the track. Hey Wesley. Hello again. How are you this week? Has Europe capitulated to Trump's trade war yet? Have you lost the trade war? Or has Harley Davidson moved jobs to Europe out of United States? It's so funny. Oh man. Alright, so I'm building this track out here. You haven't been following mini politics this week. Well, I have looked up the full list of tariffs from China, from Canada, from Europe, and if you're interested in maybe looking for a money-making opportunity, we can look at these tariffs and see if see what business you should get into to make more money now that these tariffs are killing jobs all over the world. What's going on here? Am I stepping up here? I guess I'm stepping up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What was I doing here? Better money than making people sick and then curing them. I think so. Well, actually no. It's not better money, but it's slightly more ethically acceptable, possibly. I mean, it's not our fault there's a trade war, right? So at least we can avoid the blame. So Harley Davidson has moved some production of motorcycles, right? So since you're here, Wesley, let's go to Europe first. Oh man, this is like really small print. So I've opened up the list on the screen, and it's like 10 pages long. Just 10 pages of really small lettering. It's a lot of stuff. All right. Get out of here. It's okay though. A lot of it is quite repetitive, right? So let's start at the top. Sweet corn, cooked or uncooked, by steaming or by boiling in water and frozen. So sweet corn is the first item. Corn, kidney beans, grain, semi-milled round grain rice. It's very specific, the list. It's kind of funny actually. Rice, various types of rice, prepared foods by swelling or roasting cereal, so cereal products. So yeah, if you were eating American breakfast cereals all this time, then I'm afraid you have to pay more money for your American breakfast cereal. Hi Q, we're looking at the tariffs. We're starting with Europe, the tariffs that Europe placed on the US. So corn, rice, cereal, peanut butter. So if you're in any of these industries, you might be losing money. If you're in these industries and exporting, actually no, if you're in these industries in Europe, you face less competition from America, which means you might make more money. Peanut butter, cranberries, orange juice, more cranberries. It's a surprising number of different varieties of cranberry products. Alright, so that's the first page. Is agricultural products, it looks like. Peanut butter, grains, cranberries. It sounds like the usual European thing of protecting their farmers, actually. It doesn't seem like it's all that different from the usual stuff. And then we get to bourbon whiskey, cigars, cigarettes, water pipe tobacco, tobacco and alcohol, chewing tobacco. Alright, so the next bunch is whiskey and tobacco. Are you... Does Europe make their own alcohol? They do. I mean, not whiskey, but like I guess wine, French wines and things, right? Tobacco. I guess you could import tobacco from other parts of the world, other than the US. Quite a lot of alcohol. So I mean, so that makes a lot of sense so far, right? It's kind of protecting European farmers, protecting European alcohol breweries. And then the next bunch, we're looking at lip makeup preparations and eye makeup preparations, manicure or pedicure preparations, makeup or skincare powders, including baby powders. Do any of you guys use makeup? Specifically, if you use American makeup, they may cost more now. So maybe it's time to switch brands. Switch to European brands. Only when you want to look cute. You know what, Wesley? I think you always look cute, so maybe it doesn't affect you personally. So okay, so this track, I'm gonna come over this way. And it's gonna split up into 2 tracks somehow. I don't know how this junction works. I guess we should have like a proper junction. A proper T-junction here. Here-ish, I guess. Okay. So cosmetics. Cosmetics are gonna get tariffed. Cosmetics from the US. Q says, as far as I know, most of the tariffs target Trump supporters more than protect local producers. So the alcohol tariffs are targeting Kentucky, etc., which has Mitch McConnell as a senator. Yeah, it is true. But you know, the side effect of that, Q, is that the Europeans who produce those products, or in fact anyone outside of the US who produces those products, can then export their goods to Europe with less competition from the US. So it's kind of like collaterally good for European farmers, for example. Like it has multiple effects. I wonder about the makeup stuff, Q. Where's makeup made in the US? Anyway, moving on. T-shirts, singlets, and other vests of cotton, knitted or T-shirts of wool, cotton, wool, and other textile. Okay, it's all T-shirts basically. T-shirts and singlets, men's or boys' trousers, women or girls' denim trousers. Oh, blue jeans. Get wrecked, American blue jeans. Get utterly destroyed. Cotton shorts, men's footwear, bed linen of cotton. So they're basically tariffing cotton. Men's footwear with outer soles and uppers of leather. Alright, so cotton clothing and leather shoes is the next bit. Let me just scroll down. Alright, so American fashion houses get hit by the tariffs. It's probably Levi's jeans, mostly. Maybe like Abercrombie and Fitch, but those guys are annoying anyway. Actually, I might want to push this back by 1 block. So American clothes are gonna get tariffed. And then we get to the tit for tat stuff, which is steel. There's several pages of steel and aluminium products. So we're looking at tin plate of iron or non-alloy steel, flat rolled products of iron or non-alloy steel, stainless steel, but it's very specific, although there's a whole list of them. A lot of stainless steel, bars and rods of stainless steel of different sizes, angles, shapes and sections of stainless steel, wire of stainless steel, flat rolled products of alloy steel, bars and rods of steel containing carbon. Canada is the number 2 producer of cranberries. What a make! Yes, there you go, Q. Got him. It's time to invest in cranberries, Q. Time to take your millions and go buy some shares in cranberry farms. I'm gonna put that underneath there. Okay, that's kind of awkward. So, like bits of steel and all sorts of steel parts. In fact, there's like 3 pages of this stuff. Tubes, pipes, hollow profiles, other tubes, more tubes, doors and window frames of iron or steel, steel panels. Q says what millions? I sent them all last Monday to you guys for that game. Well, you know, Q, I mean, game development takes time, so your millions are gonna be tied up for a little while. While we develop this game. Anyway, in the meantime, get your other millions and invest in cranberries. Hold on. Steel, containers of steel. Basically all sorts of steel products, including like screws and nuts and bolts. Appliances for baking, frying, grilling, cooking. Even table, kitchen, or other household articles or parts thereof of iron and steel. Even like your stainless steel knives and forks are getting taxed. Crazy. Ladders and steps of iron or steel. Articles of non-malleable cast iron. Articles of malleable cast iron. Sinks and wash basins of stainless steel. Reels of cables, piping and the like of iron and steel. Die cast iron and steel. Alright, so there's like 3 or 4 pages just of different types of steel and iron products. So that's the tit for tat stuff, which is curious because if I remember right, the US only put tariffs on steel and aluminium from Canada and the US, and Canada and the EU, and Canada and Europe in response put basically the same tariffs on American steel products plus a few more to balance it out. So I guess like basically what Trump said is true in the sense that America imports more steel from Europe and Canada than they export to Europe and Canada. But I looked it up earlier in the week. There's like, they both import and export different steel products. Like America imports a lot of steel products from from Canada, but they also export bits to Canada too. And I guess the same for Europe. So now instead of making different steel parts and just swapping them with each other, now they're taxing each other's steel products. So some of this is, I guess it's just gonna be adjusting the production or changing the production to have less trade and just more internal production. Alright, and then we get to the motorcycles here. Motorcycles, including mopeds, also seagoing sailboats and yachts with or without auxiliary motor, sailboats and yachts with or without auxiliary motor, for pleasure or sports, and motorboats for pleasure or sports, vessels for pleasure or sports, rowing boats and canoes, and then that's pretty much the list. So motorcycles and motorboats are also taxed. Actually, I'm just trying to think. At this point, we reduced to 5. Actually, let me just find the junction first. So we have the junction, maybe like here-ish. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish, and then we go diagonal. So motorbikes and yachts. And we did see in the news a little earlier this week that Harley-Davidson moved some of the final assembly, I think, of motorcycles from the US to Europe to basically avoid those tariffs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now instead of Harley-Davidson's made in the US and sold in Europe, it's made in Europe, sold in Europe. Basically reducing jobs in the US is the result. So farm products, clothing products, makeup, and motorcycles and boats and yachts and things is the European list. Alright, so let's move over to Canada. Canada countermeasures in response to unjustified tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminium products. Is the title of this article from the Canadian Department of Finance. So there's a giant page of steel products. Canadian tariffs, ingots, other primary forms containing by weight less than 0.25% of carbon, in coils not further work than hot rolled, not in coils not further work than hot rolls, with patterns in relief. It's very specific. Basically, iron, steel ingots of various forms in coils, flat rolled products, plated or coated with tin, otherwise plated or coated with zinc. Actually, these are kind of similar to the list that the Europeans put out. I'm guessing like there are certain specific steel products that the Americans make that they export. So the like tin plated, zinc plated, clad, painted, varnished or coated with plastics, containing indentations, ribs, grooves or other deformations produced using the rolling process. So rolled steel